test. Let me know if we got some audio, guys. We're gonna drink this, the barrel aged Hotard Hammerstead. Look at that! Look at that! Look at that! Maple and port barrel aged barrel wine, and it's just not blend. It's blended still with rum barrel aged imperial milk stout. My goodness. Do I not bring the unique to this thing? Do I not like bring the unique shit? You guys don't have this shit. Nobody has this kind of stuff. We're gonna blind test it. I was at Old Irving Brewery yesterday before, or after actually. I went to the barber, and it was just on the way to Binny's where I'm gonna pick up the cigar over here. And I was like, well, what do you guys got that's unique? That's something that I can't get at Binny's, and the bartender suggested this one, which was obvious, but the second pale ale, or the citrus ale pale ale that she recommended, was something that I did find at Binny's, so I wasn't happy with that. But that being said, that's okay. It looks like I have a viewer, but I can't bring up the chat on my phone. So hopefully YouTube is going to work for me here in a second. And I'm going to be able to bring up, hopefully, knowing that if you guys can actually hear me, or all this was just a waste of time. And I've been wasting a ton of time already, guys. But getting the sifter ready here. The cigars are ready. The La Aurora cigar. Before I talk about any of this stuff, I just want to make sure that the audio is up and running here. Man, I can't get the chat really to work properly. What's going on in the chat? Boom, come on. Come on, chatty. Let's go, come on. Come on, baby, come on. I've been trying for like 40 minutes to get my computer working properly. And I just had to go live. Just like, I know that this is conflicting with Johnny K picks, and Blood Money bets are coming up sooner, and I would have liked to have not interfered with their stream, but I was spending 40 minutes just trying to get this shit going, and it wouldn't have, because I think by now we would have been halfway through the cigar, and definitely maybe finished with this beer. I doubt it. This is definitely, let's see if I could get some sound and that I am coming up. See how long it's taking me to press the computer? I pressed the button for the YouTubers to be letting me know that the sound is working like fucking 10 minutes ago, and it's just still spinning. You get the rainbow circular thing that just keeps going and going and going. But that's what we have today. Boom. Look at that. Alright, let me see. Before I talk about the cigar, wow, that's a spicy cigar, I'll tell you that much. Shit, come on. Come on. Let's go, come on, let's go. Sound is good? Sound is good, guys? Sound is good. I think I got the confirmation that sounds good. I got a little chat that the sound is working. Alright, awesome. Minutes ago. I appreciate that, Real News. Thank you so much. Awesome, guys. Well, welcome, Bout Betters. Hope you guys did well last week. Thank you so much. I know that if you tailed me last week, you probably did not do well. My main bet did not cash. My secondary bet did indeed cash of Nikolai Negromoneno, but my biggest bet was Jun Kim on the money line, which didn't cash, and that sucked. It really hurt me. I'm in dire need of a new computer here, and that money would have helped out. It seems like I'm just not doing well. I like that some of the bets that I am making. I've receded into not having as many tickets. I got a lot of tickets here, and it seems like a lot, but all of these, like these first ones, like these are all Jun Kim. Actually, no, Anthony Smith on the money line as a flyer. That was still a bad bet, man. That guy got smoked. But all these, for example, are Jun Kim. They're round props. The TKO at plus 1100, and then I also had her in round 2 for $10 at plus, I believe, 2900, and then her on the money line for another 100. So it was like $160 her on the money line, which and I had her in that Trixie, which basically ended my night. Like, I didn't have, I had flyers on Anthony Smith, I had a flyer on Derek Lewis, and a flyer on Juliana Pena, all $30 flyers. So that $90 is really the bulk. Because I did well on Nikolai Negromoreno, it compensated for a lot of these, but not enough, right? Like, winning on Nikolai and getting him at plus money certainly helped, but it didn't offset the losses of these tickets, and it didn't off Jin Yun Kim. And if Jin Yun Kim would have won, I would have been up like $1,000. Like, all being said, even on the $160 bet and another $50 on parlays with her, part of that actually $80 on the Trixie, I would have been up close to $1,000 if she had hit for me. But I'm not salty on it. It is what it is. But today we're going to have this old Irving Brewery. This is super unique stuff that I got here. Let's change the camera here. Like, you're always getting unique stuff with me. Like, I'm definitely done with that age. You ain't gonna see no fucking Miller High Life, Bush beer. This is as unique and as and blended as you could find probably anywhere. I don't think that there is a beer made like this in the world. I mean, this thing it's like triple barrel aged. It's aged. It has maple and it's aged in a maple and port barrel, aged in a barley wine barrel, and then blended with rum barrel. And it's an aged imperial milk stout, right? So right out the gate, you see it's black. So we expect it to be very dark, chocolatey, and I expect it to be super sweet, lots of sugars, but still aromatic. I expect a ton of caramel in this, and that's just I'm not even off the nose. I'm just thinking, like, well, if it has all those blends, if it has like the rum, has the barley wine, and it's barrel aged, it's going to have a lot of the wood, especially with the rum, is going to be canceled off by the rum. The rum is going to present a lot of sweetness, and yes, I'm correct. Look at that. Look at that. Guys, look at that. Look at that. Look at that shit. Oh my God. And this is strong. This is no joke. I would have preferred to have had this. Hey, he had a Real News said he had a Toonie parlay with Ankalaev KO, Pantoja sub, and Pena by sub. Was trying to wake up the neighbors while yelling at Pena to scare. Oh man. Yeah, Real News, I was with you on Pena. I had the flyer there too. I think we were happy. Like, I didn't have the bet. I lost $60 at the end of the night. It really doesn't matter how much I lost. I thought those last two fights were two of the best fights I've seen in a year or two. I was so excited. I was excited for Kai France, and then I loved the way Moreno came back, and Pena is a dog. I was happy with my flyer bet with Pena, more so than I was Anthony Smith, more so than Derek Lewis. Those guys really didn't come through on what they were doing. But man, the Pena's performance, I think that was one of my favorite female MMA fights. Even though Pena was getting her ass kicked, that was one of my favorite female fights ever. That's up there with my top 5, top 3 female MMA bouts, because Pena was still alive and she was taking it. She just couldn't secure it. Obviously, there were some things that that this girl tuned up, and she did come in more prepared. But you saw that her face at the end of the night. Pena tagged that woman up. Pena still lit her up, was still active and dangerous the whole fight, and you couldn't have asked anything more. I would have loved to have started this cigar a long time ago, guys. I was having so many problems. But this is I just threw this as a flyer. Like, I'll go to the cigar shop or to Benny's. This is at Benny's. This is like an $8 cigar, La Aurora 110. It's a full Honduran cigar, but made in the Dominican Republic, which is very interesting. Right off the nose, there's a lot of earthiness to it, and it's spicy. It tickles my nose. I can feel the spice already at the top of it, right? So I know it's gonna have a level of spiciness, but you look at the caliber of the wrapper, and the wrapper has a nice oiliness to it. It's actually a full, nice looking, full wrapper of high quality, and it's a full Honduran. Like it's a Honduran filler, Honduran binder, and the wrapper. And it didn't say if this was. It looks like a Connecticut shade wrapper, but it isn't. I believe that it is also a Honduran or a Cuban. Ooh, this is a very spicy cigar. I could tell that. I just got a haircut yesterday, and when I touch the cigar and I touch my eyebrows and I even touch my chin where I just shaved, I could feel the spices from the cigar. The pepperiness hits my skin. So this is gonna have a little pepperiness, but has a little nice oils, nice earthy tone to it. Just because it is a light shaded cigar isn't always going to mean that it's going to be mild and full bodied. It still has other characteristics to it, but we're going to see. I do these all blind tasting on the beer. Huge caramel. Like this thing is like, and it says that it has the cherry, not the cherry wine, but a port, and you could smell. This basically is like a port beer. Like this is, and that's why I wanted to pair it with this. I was going to have a Padron Maduro, but I needed some kind of a contrast to offset the two. I really smell the port, high alcohol content, some cherries or blackberry in there. I can't believe this is a stout. It really smells more like a port. Very, very strong port start with that caramel finish. I taste very little stout. It is almost like drinking a port. Lots of black cherry and cherry in here. And it has that alcohol kick. Like at the end of it, this beer is not like drinking a beer at all. It's actually like drinking a port or a rum. It's actually like drinking a port. Like I taste more of the port, the cherry, and it's very pronounced and very strong with the huge caramel sort of underlaying there, but it tastes like a port. And the difference, I think that in terms of texture, is it's still a beer. But man, this thing is no joke, man. There's no way you're going to fucking guzzle this thing. Even sipping is very intense. There, I tasted the stout. Wow, this is, if you're a stout fan and you want something this is perfect for a cigar, right? Because this is like, it has everything that most of the alcohols and the booze that I love. It has beer, it has stout, which I love stout. It has rum, I love rum. It has port, I love port. And then it has like the barley aged barrel, like I love whiskey and my other spirits. And then I love beer, and then this all has it all together. But it's so heavy. It's so pronounced. It's very, very intense. It's very intense, but it's awesome. So unique stuff, man. It's the barrel age. I believe you pronounce it Gammelhartad. Maybe hashtag. We need the Norwegian guy over here to pronounce this. No, you can't Illinois Bigfoot, you can't guzzle. You don't want to guzzle this. This is only for the sipping. This is, like port. You don't want to guzzle port. You don't want to guzzle wine. It's meant to enjoy. And we're doing the T-cut again, guys, on this. It feels very tight, which is good. Sometimes tight rolls aren't bad. I don't think this is machine rolled. A lot of times when it's super tight, oh man. A little tough of a draw. The T-cup may not work with this. We're gonna actually need to cut. We're gonna actually need to do a cut on the tab of the cigar with this thing, and that's why I got my my circumcision peanut cutter over here. And even though I said it had spice on it, when I taste it, it doesn't have a ton of spice. It's more of an earthy leatheriness to it. Lots of cedar. Lots of cedar. Oh, there's the spice. There it is. There it is. Yeah, yeah, it's there. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna just clip the very nip of it. I don't know if you guys can see this here. Let me see if I don't know if I can get the camera angle correctly. Like the cigar holder is already meant in shape to be, you just want to grab the cap, the very end of it. You don't want to cut too much of it off. And yeah, see how much I took off there? That was a perfect cut. I got lucky there. That's perfect. Now, it's still a tight draw. This is a tightly rolled cigar. And lots of spice. Lots of spice, lots of pepperiness. Good earth tones. I like to inhale the cigar even when it's not lit. I think it always gives us, oh man, very spicy. It always gives us a very good, and I'm drinking this beer like I do a wine. That when I do that, it adds a little oxygen to it. And that accentuates it throughout my mouth, adds a lot of oxygen on the palate. It smooths it out, and I'm able to taste the flavors better. But man, this is no joke. This is like a crazy, crazy strong. It's like drinking a port. It's like I know a lot of people are not familiar with ports. Ports are more of a cherry spirit or grape spirit. It's a super intense. It's like a port wine, but it's like wine, but heavier. Has more of a full body and lots of that grape cherry sort of flavor, right? And it's dark. Port wine tends to be a little bit dark and very rosy, but it has a different body and texture than most wine. So it's a different type of wine that's more enjoyed in Spain and in Portugal is really where it is more common. And I'm telling you, Old Irving Brewery. This is in Old Irving in Chicago. I don't know if you're able to get this outside of Chicago, but it is something that if you wanted to try something unique, no matter where you're at, that this is going to be a good cigar to try. I mean, good beer. Yeah, when you want to drink, but this is different stuff, man. You know, like this isn't your normal beer. This isn't like your Bud Light. This is like something you don't want to. You don't really want to. Guzzle. Even if you're a heavy drinker, it's not that type of. Yeah, the roll on this cigar is very tight. Lot. Well, the subtle sweetness is there. I overlit it a little bit, and the spice is kicked. Little overlit here. Overlit it in a bad spot. Yeah, the spice is there. A lot more leathery tones to it, very earth tones. And the draw is tough. Little spicy finish there. Tough draw. Tough draw. It's a very tightly wrapped cigar, which isn't horrible. It's more of a silkiness. I was hoping that it would be a little bit more of a full-bodied cigar, but it's not. It's more of a silk cigar. It is burning a little hot because I didn't light it properly. It has a little slight pepperiness, but it's not overwhelmingly peppery or spicy, which isn't horrible. More silk, has a slight sweetness at the end there, but very strong earth tones. Not a ton of nuts, not a ton of oil yet, right? That could change. It's more leathery. It has that more leathery texture, but it has that hint of sweetness at the end, which I enjoy. And it's very, I always mention this, it's subtle. All the flavors on the cigars tend to be so. Sometimes they're subtle. Sometimes they're very pronounced. Like all the flavors in this beer, in the Gammelhartad, is that how you pronounce it? The Gammelhartad are super pronounced. Right? All the flavors there are super pronounced. So well, the silkiness and on the nose, it's soft on the nose. And when I say silkiness, is that, as you can see from the burn, it's not like super heavy, full-bodied. It's not very thick and rich on the smoke. And the silkiness is there on the nose. It doesn't offend your nose. It's not irritating on the nose. Man, I'm telling you about this beer. Things like drinking a wine. It's like drinking a port. Perfect for a cigar. Like, the draw hurts it. I think that it's decent quality. Full Honduran. I think it like all cigars, it's better if you age them. Like, brings out the oil. I don't know how much more flavor you're going to get out of sitting on this cigar. It seems a little light and very subtle in its palate. And I don't know how. I mean, the wrapper just looks fantastic when you see it, but it just doesn't have enough pronounced flavors for me. Like right now, I'm just off the gate. I'm not going to consider this a bad cigar or a horrible cigar. I'm going to consider it a decent cigar. And I wouldn't know how it ages, but I'm going to give this thing off the gate like a 6.5, which is close to my mediocre area. Like, this is my mid-range, and this is still a quality cigar. I think I paid like $8 for this thing, so it's not a cheap cigar at all. Yeah, Bigfoot. You don't want to do roofing's a very hard job, man. You don't want to be hungover doing that kind of work. I've done that work. You don't want to be drinking on that kind of work because it's dangerous. You don't want to be drinking Four Locos doing roofing, man. You want to have your wits about you. Go and drink afterwards. And I'm telling you, after doing as you'll know, doing an afternoon of roofing, you go and have 2 beers, you're gonna pass out. Like, roofing is some of the hardest work you could do for a living. Don't drink while you're doing that, bro. It's unsafe for you. It's unsafe for the people that you're working with. Like, it's something that you want to. I don't care if the other guys do it. Don't do it, man. It's not worth it. And I wouldn't work with guys that drink on doing that kind of work. I wouldn't even want to work with guys that were hungover doing that kind of work. It's dangerous. It's not easy. You know, you don't want guys slacking and being just sort of lackluster in terms of what they're doing, in terms of their awareness, and even just climbing up and down ladders. And it's not, you know, when you're doing that kind of construction, man, you know, just don't drink, man. It's not worth it. Mm. This is a good cigar to pair with this particular port, because now there are hints of the sweetness that's coming in. It is burning a little hot. I don't like the char. You see that char at the end of it? It's normal. I mean, it's a well rolled cigar, but it is burning a little hot. And I think that's a testament. It's a full Honduran cigar. There's no blend to it. And I don't think that's a good idea. Like, it's okay to blend and have multiple flavors. This is a full Honduran cigar, ironically made in the Dominican Republic. So they ship all the tobacco to the DR, and they have better rollers in the Dominican Republic, and I can understand that. So it's well constructed, but the fact that they didn't blend it, I think, hurts the cigar. It doesn't have any complexity to it, and it isn't. I mean, you know, I love that. I love the earth tones to it. I mean, it has the quality. The quality is there. It just isn't. It just isn't spectacular. There we go. Nice, nice. Very silky. Very silky, the cigar. I wish the draw were better, but if the draw were actually better, it might burn too hot, because it is burning hot. And that subtle sweetness there is perfect with I'm going to almost call it a port. It's a port beer, although it's an imperial. I can't get over what's all this in this. You know, and when they say that it's aged like that, I mean, this is triple aged, man. This is put in a maple and port barrel, then aged in a barley wine barrel, then blended with rum barrel, aged imperial milk stout. Mm. Little chestnut. Now it's there. It's there. Has more of this slight. The pepperiness is gone right now. It has a slight peppery finish, but a slight chestnut on the tongue. This is actually not a bad cigar for a beginner, but I think that they wouldn't. It's just too neutral, right? Like it's going to be hard to pick up the flavors if you're not familiar with a cigar and looking for the things that you want to in a cigar. You know, I asked Lock of the Night. Oh man, I love that little sweet finish there. I wanted to try to find a reason to bet Nate, because he's basically wow, that's heavy port, big port. It's like drinking a port. It's like drinking a port wine. It's not even like drinking a beer. And the finish is like more of that spirit taste. It has that alcohol kick, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's pretty damn dope. Lots of caramel, lots of port, man. I don't know if you guys have ever had ports. I used to love ports. I love ports, and especially with cigars. So I think this beer is perfect for any cigar. Maduros, Cubans. This is the kind of beer that is almost made for smoking a cigar, more so than other beers. If there is a beer to drink with a cigar, this is the kind of beer that you want with it. I think this is a perfect pairing for it. Perfect sip and smoke. Better than a brandy or better than a spirit, because I think spirits sort of clean the palate, but they also dominate the palate. Whereas this still is very domineering of the palate, but yet it being a beer or a port, I mean, it tastes more of a port. You still get back to the beer. Yeah. Silky, earthy, soft. I mean, I'd be curious to see this cigar in a year. I don't think we're going to gain anything from it. Like sitting on it, I don't know if it's going to add anything to this cigar. What's up, Joey? I think that cigar is a good like daily smoke, or a good little cigar. Nothing fabulous about it, but nothing offensive or wrong about the cigar. Man, a lot of leather, a lot of earth. Like I said, it had a little chestnut sort of. This is a good, perfect with this port wine here. I think it complements it. Not a full body, more of a silky cigar. Not overbearing. I love the slight sweet finish to it, and it's there at the end of it, but it has more, again, as I keep on beating it down with like a horse, more of those leathery earth tones to it, which I don't mind either. It's still a testament of quality to the tobacco. Like, it's not offensive, and it's a high quality cigar. Josh, yeah, Josh is the guy with the glasses. I told him to do some research to come on board and come and do the thing, but he didn't do any research, and he didn't want to, because I just told him, like yesterday, I was like we were looking at, like, Nate, like, to go back to your question about Nate Diaz and Kamzat, like, he's on Kamzat, and we're all on Kamzat, right? Like, I mean, Nate Diaz is priced where he is because he doesn't have a chance, right? Like, if you're going to bet Nate Diaz, bet him live when he's, like, lost the first two rounds, and then bet him round 3. You know, like live, or see what his number is round 3. And I bet it's going to be like plus 4,800 or something like that. And that's when you throw your $20 or your lottery ticket bet on Nate Diaz. Or as an MMA lock of the night said, just send a super chat to someone like myself or to another capper that you like. Send them a super chat of the amount of money that you put on Nate Diaz. Just send those guys a super chat is what I would say. And I agree with that. That's, Nate just is good off his back, but we haven't seen him win off his back in some time. His jiu-jitsu isn't good enough to catch Kamzat. And I agree with that with MMA Lock of the Night. It just isn't as good. It just isn't effective enough to win him this fight. And his wrestling is horrible. And Kamzat's all wrestling and ground and pound. So, but here's the thing. Kamzat might be dumb enough to stand on the feet with him for a while. You know? I wouldn't say that Kamzat has horrible fight IQ, but the drive and the impetus on everyone nowadays is to steal the show. Everybody wants that Dana bonus. Wow, heavy port. It's all port. I don't even sense any rum in it. All port. And next time I'm going to have a port for you guys so that that you have a understanding of what a port is. Wow. Yeah, lots of cherry port. The caramel's gone. Super black and thick. That's why they have the black can. Look at this thing. Look at how dark this thing is. And I could see it, like, has legs. Like, oh, this is super deep. Man, this is no joke. I'm just having one of these. It comes in a 2-pack. Josh would have loved this thing. Josh is a big fan of the whiskey and barrel aged. Although I don't think Josh knows what a port is, and that port flavor might throw him off, or he might not be able to distinguish it. And I think that the port dominates the other aging. It's almost like you don't taste the other barrels. The port dominates it, except for that end, that berry wine finish, right? The little spirit finish. at the end, right, is there, right? But for the most part, it's heavy port beer, and that's the risk you take blending, like there's that the Jameson's IPA cask stuff. Like sometimes your blend is going to be dominated by one of the other barrels. The barrel that is in port, if you look at what port is, the barrels are going to be super tan. They're going to be dark on the inside. They're going to have a lining to them, and the port is going to dominate. It's like any color. If you fill in a white, then a beige, and then dark, the darker color at the end is, or even at the beginning, is always going to dominate. It's going to overshadow and dominate whatever you put in. So even though they put this with the berry wine in the beginning and with rum, I taste no rum at all. For myself, I'm a rum drinker. I taste no rum. There is this rum aged as well. It's heavy port because the port barrel dominates the aging process. So it's more of a, and I taste no stout. Like I taste very little stout. It tastes like a port. It's like a port beer, literally. And still the silkiness there. Jojo asked about the Jojo asked about, like, his question is Santos or Hill. Um, if you're gonna bet Hill, do we bet KO? Is there going to be a finish? Is this Hill? Is this the first fight where Hill actually goes to a decision? I think not, because Hill is aggressive. Hill, like McKinney, only fights in one way, and that's aggressive, aggressive, aggressive towards a finish. I mean, can Hill win a decision? Right? We know Santos can. We know Santos has been the distance. Can Hill go the distance and win? Right? And I think if this goes the distance, that doesn't bode well for Hill. Like, I don't know. We haven't seen Hill go into the latter rounds, go into even a third round. Like, I'm not saying he's first round or bust or even second round or bust, but that's the problem of betting Hill. And I don't want to bet him. And if I do bet Hill, it's going to be by the TKO. And when was the last time Santos was knocked out? Like, so, but Santos is going to give Hill the fight he wants. He's going to stand and bang. Joey was saying that, like, why wouldn't Hill or I'm sorry, Santos take Hill down? And the thing is, Santos is actually more of a kickboxer. Not every Brazilian, just because they're Brazilian, doesn't necessarily mean that even if they have a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt, doesn't mean that they're well-accomplished jiu-jitsu fighters. They got the belt, but I could go to fucking Brazil and fucking be there for a few months and maybe get a fucking, not a black belt, but I'm going to get a brown belt or something, You meet the right guy that wants to fucking, feed you and give you a nice belt, they're going to give it to you. And I'm certain Santos has that ability, but his game, he's a kickboxer. So I think that he's going to give Hill the fight that he wants, and it's whether or not Hill can knock Santos out. And if he can't, what happens if he can't knock him out? Ooh. Wow, this is strong. Um, this is served on tap over there at the Old Irving Brewery on Montrose Avenue in Chicago. Um, and I bet the tap there is a little crisper and colder than what it is here in the can. But the beer shouldn't be that different. Lots of caramel, lots of candy. Um, I don't know if I'm getting a little sense of licorice from the beer and the cigar, or a combination of each has this little licorice sort of taste to it, which I don't mind. I love licorice. And if you could get licorice in the taste of cigar and or beer, like this combination, I would say that licorice residue is the best part of this pairing. Like, that's why I didn't want to smoke a Maduro or a darker shade cigar. I wanted something that was more of a naturale, and because I knew this beer was going to be super, super heavy, super candy, lots and lots of just sugar, right? From the port, from the rum, from the berry wine. Not a lot of earthiness. There is some earthiness to the beer as well, but I love the licorice combination that it creates between the marrying of the two has that little licorice taste. No, it's not like moonshine at all. And Jojo was saying Silva or Edgar. Which Sylvia? I don't know which Sylvia's fighting Edgar. I didn't see that on any of the. If we're gonna talk about stuff, let's like in terms of bets. I think like best bets like coming up. I think the two main best bets, guys. The cigars in Cabo are mediocre. Like I'm gonna bring cigars to Cabo, and that's because I don't want to. I'm gonna already know what quality cigars I have, but I'm gonna do my research, and I'm certain there is a high end cigar place in Cabo where I could get like a decent Cuban. But here's the thing: these cigars here, even this cigar, might be better than the quality. Here's I hate to be racist. I hate to say what it is. Mexico does not get the best caliber of Cuban cigars than Europe, right? Like Cuba is not sending. They're sending their top level cigars. That's why I used to when I sold Cuban cigars. I used to source my Cuban cigars from Switzerland and from London, right? From people that traveled in Europe or Germany, Switzerland, Germany, and London, and not Mexico, because Mexico, yes, they are indeed Cuban cigars, but they're not the highest quality Cuban cigars. And Mexico has more of an interest of selling their tobacco as well, right? So you're going to get good cigars there, but I think like even in seafood and a lot of the things in Mexico, man, they're going to ship the best fish they got to Japan, right? And Europe. You're not getting when you go to certain restaurants, you're not getting it depends, right? It depends. You're not going to get the best stuff because they're going to reserve the best stuff that's made from Mexico. And that shit is good. Like Mexican seafood, Mexican cigars, Mexican tobacco. The best tobacco is going to the Dominican Republic. It's going to the Honduras where they blend it and mix it with these other cigar makers blend it, and it goes to be part of other cigars. And so you get the scraps in Mexico, right? You just don't get the highest quality there because the highest quality cigars are going to be reserved and paid for or become part of better cigars that are made in the Dominican Republic or somewhere else in the world. And I'm going to argue that is the case with some of their food as well. Like we're going to get good food. We're going to go one night, we're going to go to a very high-end restaurant in Mexico, in Cabo. And you're going to get the metal. We're going to get the best shit that they have to offer and the shit that isn't like shipped off to Europe. Brian saying Luca sub. The problem I have with Luque by sub is that Luque's wrestling is not that great, right? This dude took him down, right? And Luque's another one of those. Luque has good jujitsu, but he's more of a kickboxer, right? He is a jujitsu black belt, but he's more of a kickboxer. So, Joey say we're getting on a boat. We'll get on a boat, man. We'll get on a boat. And here's just like in Hill and Big Thiago Santos, Hill's they're both in the fights they want. Like Luque rather stand up too. Like Luque rather stand up and trade and bang. And if Jeff Neal like decides like or presents Neal doesn't have the best takedown defense. He's not faced like top quality wrestlers. That Luque might have enough wrestling to take him down, and if he does get him down, he's a fish out of water. Jeff Neal doesn't have the best jiu-jitsu. He can't fight off his back, and Luque's jiu-jitsu is good enough to sub him. Right? I think Luque by sub is not a bad play. I'd look for like that to be a possibility because Jeff Neal hits hard, and once Luque gets that feeling, and he tried to take Bilal Muhammad down after he got like lit up on the feet, which was surprising to me. That's why I think Bilal is actually a good bet, because Bilal showed us that the guy just isn't a one-dimensional wrestler. He has an extremely good fight IQ, and he's able to use his wrestling in a certain way. But he actually tagged Luque a lot from the outside. Luque was just disturbed by Bilal's movement, that it threw his whole game off, right? And I don't think Jeff Neal is going to do that. Jeff Neal is more of a traditional guy, but if he went in training and he figured out that formula, looking at that, the Bilal Muhammad fight, then that's going to be a problem for Luque. But Luque is a dog. I don't know what was wrong. I was on Luque against Bilal. I lost a little money on that. I mean, I'm a big into Luque, and I like Brian. I like that idea of Luque by sub. I think that should be his win method. But I could see this being like a greasy, like maybe Jeff Neal has enough to keep it on the feet. Maybe his takedown defense is good enough to keep Luque away from him, because Vicente Luque's wrestling. Like, when have we seen like there's a good question for the chat. Who do you guys think is the best Brazilian wrestler? Like, we all know the jiu-jitsu guys, we all know the kickboxing guy, but who do you guys think, even not submissions aside, who do you guys think is the best Brazilian wrestler that you guys seen? And I'll let you guys know, out of me, I think it's Junior Dos Santos. And we saw how hard it was for him to get this guy down, right? But I think Junior Dos Santos is one of the best Brazilian wrestlers out there. But who do you guys think is the best Brazilian wrestler right now in the UFC? The pepperiness is gone. Now I'm getting to the oils. There's oil now. And I like that. Oh, there's a little pepper there. Little pepper in there, my boy. Yeah, but stronger earth tones, as I mentioned before, stronger leather, a little chest. Jojo says Amanda Nunes is the best wrestler. Hell no. Her wrestling sucks. Ooh. Man, heavy pork. Man, I want to guzzle this beer, but I can't. It's too caramely, super sweet. I'm not having that second can. That can is like, you can't have two of these back to back. Like, it is literally like drinking a pork. Illinois Bigfoot believes Amanda Ribas is the best Brazilian wrestler. Jojo is saying Royce Gracie. Royce is dead. He's done. Like, currently, who's the best Brazilian wrestler? Like, I guess my point is, the Brazilian wrestling is not up to par yet, but they don't necessarily need to be, right? I think a lot of these Brazilian jiu-jitsu guys, but nobody wants to go down on the ground with them, right? You saw like what Paul Craig and Volkan Ozdemir. Volkan knew, I'm not staying down with this guy. I'm not staying on the mat with this dude, because I'm going to get subbed. And everybody knows that with these Brazilians too. You do not want to play with that's what Oliveira does the same thing. He gets knocked out, stunned, and he'll fucking chill out for a moment on his back, because no one's going to want to come down there, because those guys are so good in their jiu-jitsu, even stunned, even like nearly knocked out. You go down there, they're going to submit you. It's going to be second nature to the better jiu-jitsu guys. And I don't think, Charles' wrestling does suck. Right? He can't wrestle. And Luque can't wrestle either. Right? I don't think that Vicente Luque could wrestle. Right? And I don't think a lot of that, tell that to my boy Fur. Well, Fur got fucking submitted by Ferg's going to want to go down there. Ferg's wrestling, I mean, we haven't seen it. Like, he always talked about his wrestling, and it hasn't been done. Anybody that's really, really good at wrestling or counter wrestling has dominated Ferg. Like, Ferg's wrestling is overrated. Illinois Bigfoot saying Andre Muniz is the best Brazilian wrestler. I wouldn't agree with that. I'd say his wrestling is not great, but he's one of the best Brazilian grapplers. Right? He knows what he's doing. I mean, we had Muniz by sub. I had Muniz by sub. But we're talking just wrestling, not the jiu-jitsu. Like, there's a difference, guys. Right? What's up, Prodigy? He knows. Prodigy, who do you think, Prodigy? We got somebody that has good information, well-versed in his MMA, Prodigy. And I know all my fans are. You guys are really good knowing MMA and the UFC, and I appreciate you guys coming in here. But Prodigy, who do you think is the best Brazilian wrestler is the question right now. Is it the topic of discussion is what we're talking about. What Brazilian is the best wrestler in the UFC right now? And if it's a woman or man, and I'm just saying that, one thing that City Kickboxing did, there's Moreno wasn't able to take down Kai Kara-France. It wasn't the wrestling, his wrestling advantage that he had. It wasn't effective. Even the City Kickboxing guys, man, their wrestling has improved. And here's my thing, and I'm not trying to be racist or anything. Like, why hasn't wrestling improved in Brazil? They have a huge jiu-jitsu advantage. If the Brazilians could learn how to wrestle better, they would have more champions. They would be even more successful in the UFC because their jiu-jitsu is so good, right? It would be so good. Again, the cigar, lots of chestnut, good silkiness now, lots of good oils. Yeah, I understand that, guys, Prodigy, but the question still remains. Like, who do you guys think is the best one? I said Junior Dos Santos. I threw out a person out there. I think Junior Dos Santos is the best Brazilian wrestler out there in the game, and he's not even that great. Good point, Noah Allen. He said Glover. Michelle Pieta. I mean, Glover definitely has that, like, Greco-Roman type wrestling, I think. Like, I like that Glover call because Glover has, like, deceptively that good upper body. Like Greco-Roman wrestling. He can put you in the clinch, and he's got a good trip. He doesn't really do, like, leg takedown. And Nunes, all right. Nunes and Aldo, all right, Nunes. And Aldo, too, I mean, I see that. I'm not giving respect to Nunes because in her past bouts I've seen, or the past most recent one against Pena, she just knocked Pena down. And Pena would just stay there. Wow. A lot of guys that saying Aldo. I like that. I like that everyone's like in Aldo. I didn't see it. I mean, I'm not gonna disagree. But I like his entry. I think Aldo has a very good entry towards that clinch and towards that takedown. But again, it's not the best wrestling. I think him, like Glover, used more of a Greco-Roman upper body takedown, which is great too. Because what the Brazilians like to do, and that's what Muniz does, is get you in that body lock. And the better their grip is, they use the body lock to trip constantly. They're not like ankle picking. They're not one leg takedown guys or even two leg takedown dudes. They're not shooting, but they get you in that up against the cage. They get that body lock in. And then they just sit down and do like that. I forgot what it's called. not the fireman's carry. I forget. There was a guy who mentions what kind of sort of techniques they use to get you there. Ooh, but it's like it's above of a sit down takedown. Like they know that with that body lock, they don't let. What's up, Troy Potter boy? They don't let go with it. Once they get that body lock on you, they don't let go of it. They're not using. They're using you more Greco-Roman wrestling techniques more so than freestyle wrestling techniques. And I didn't want to. The question wasn't who has the. It doesn't matter which wrestling it is, but I like the idea that Aldo has the same thing, man. And I think it's common in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Because what they do with that body lock is they cobra you, right? And they get that body lock in, then they put the hooks in, right? A lot of guys, that's the way they get your back. And I've been watching the Italian kid, Musemi, a lot of his jiu-jitsu lately is really, Michael Musemi, is that his name? Wow, I mean, young, talented. I like, yeah, sure, they play the leg lock game, but I like the way he does the same thing that the Brazilians do. If he gets you in a body lock, which he doesn't tend to do a lot, but if he gets you in a body lock, right away he transitions towards your back. He's like, right away, I got the body lock, and then he hops into the backpack, right? So, I think that a lot of the Brazilians should, and I have no idea why they do not come to the States and train like at with the Russians. I think the Brazilians, other than Oliveira, I think the next generation of Brazilians that venture out into Europe, that venture out into Russia, or come here to the States, almost like what Damian Maia did, and work on their wrestling. I think that they're going to be really they need that wrestling. That's the missing factor, is because they're so pure in their jiu-jitsu, and they're so reluctant to learn the American style freestyle wrestling in MMA that is hurting them. And I'm Noah Allen, I'm on RDA. I think RDA is the best Brazilian wrestler guy. I think he has the best takedown ability. He's great from the clinch to get down. He's good at getting that one leg takedown or even a two leg takedown. So for me, it's RDA. But I think that the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys are suffering and are hurting themselves by not venturing off into wrestling. Like, just because you're good at jiu-jitsu doesn't mean you're good at wrestling. And just because you're good at wrestling doesn't mean you're going to be good at jiu-jitsu. Like, why don't we see, like, Gordon Ryan and some of these other great jiu-jitsu practitioners compete in MMA? And I would say, I would argue that even for the non-Brazilians, the non-Brazilian jiu-jitsu practitioners have a hard time with mixed martial arts jiu-jitsu because they don't have the takedown ability. Guys don't have. Are you going to go down the ground with Gordon Ryan or Paul Craig and these guys? Like, they already know what to expect. They're just going to counter wrestle you, right? Even Mooney's problem. I'm a big Andre Mooney's fan, but his wrestling is not that good, right? Like, he was able to get Hall down, which is not a big deal. I mean, even though Hall has good takedown defense, and he wasn't even able to submit Hall. Even though he had the back for so long, he wanted a certain position, right? So I think that's a big problem for a lot of guys, and I think that that's what makes Moreno such a good champion. The willingness to venture off, go into a different camp, learn what you're not good at, learn what your weaknesses are, improve and enhance what it is that you're doing. That's what makes these guys great champions, and I think Moreno is exemplifying of that. He's like, yo, I had this, I had my boxing, now I got to get my footwork better, I got to get my speed better. Like, Moreno was a little exposed there to an extent, but he won by striking. And Kai Kara-France still had to alter his game. He stayed away. Kai Kara-France, that was the first fight I saw Kai Kara-France move backwards. Like, he had to move backwards because he was afraid of Moreno's jiu-jitsu, not his wrestling, because Moreno didn't have the wrestling to take him down. But if he had that wrestling, I think that Moreno, that's the last thing that could make him a solid champion. They could make him like, and you look at like wrestling is still one of the highest, best bases, because if you control your opponent, just wrestling, more so than jiu-jitsu, because jiu-jitsu is a submission form, right? You're looking for finishes, and that's what we want our submission guys to look at, but I love, this is now a better cigar. We're half through the cigar, guys, and the pepperiness is gone, and now we're starting to taste a little of the oils, and the chestnut is there. Peanut, chestnut, right? I'm not playing any parlays. Troy Party Boy, man, I don't think that this is, I'm not betting this week. I don't think this is a good parlay card. I mean, I don't want to bet the chalk. I mean, I love my boy Olajay Shook, but minus 625 and Terrence McKinney, minus 910. With Vincente Luque, if I did anything, I would do that like 3-play. And even a 3-play, we're just at even money. It's not worth it, guys. It's not worth it. You know, you might want to chase a prop, or you might want to chase like Bueno Silva at plus 102 against Edgar. I think that she could pound Edgar out. You know, Edgar's got good wrestling, but I think that would be my play right now. I don't see anything else on this card. You don't want to Sergey Spivak at minus 265 even against Augusto Sakai? That shit sucks, guys. This card is not a good betting card. I'm laying off of it. I'm laying off of it for a few reasons. I'm on a slight losing streak, but not great. Yes, not bad. Now it's getting better. Guys, as a cigar burns, the flavor characteristics change. And now the oils on this cigar have started to develop, right? So that leads me to believe that, yes, it's a little young. So sitting on it isn't a bad idea. Like aging it a little bit, like all cigars age better, you know, is not a bad idea, but the flavors are so much more pronounced. It's a little, I don't like these silky cigars. I prefer it to be a little bit more full bodied. It's not burning as hot. It's hard for you guys to tell, but it's not burning as hot. But nice oils now. I'm getting that oil palate on the palate, the oil taste. And I love that oilness, nutty oilness to it. Don't bet Rockhold, Prodigy. I think Rockhold's spent. Like his chin, he's taken a lot of damage. He's a gym champ. I don't like battle. Like, you guys are a little ahead of me on a lot of these. I don't like any of the fighters. I don't like any of the odds on this other than Bueno Silva. And I mean, I'm gonna wait for the McKinney by finish. Like McKinney by finish is gonna be like minus 170, and Jamal Hill by TKO is gonna be like minus 110. I think for that, my main bet is gonna be Mayra Brenna Silva. I missed out a little bit. Like, she was a bigger underdog a little earlier, and I think that would be my best play. I think our best upcoming bets, guys, I'm going to give it to you in a moment here. To finish off this cigar, guys, we're gonna go with another Old Irving Brewing Company. This Tropical Thought. We're gonna go with the hazy IPA to finish. Fresh glass here, guys. I like these snifters, brandy snifters. No, Alan saying round one if you want McKinney. Again, no, I just mentioned this earlier. Like, we haven't seen McKinney outside of round 1 or 2, right? But when was the last time Santos was finished? Let me look at like Santos's finish metrics here. I mean, I don't think Santos is an easy guy to finish, right? Yeah, the cigars is good. Man, this beer kicked my ass. I'll tell you what, guys. This the barrel aged stuff. What's the alcohol on this? I think it's like 9.75. Heavy caramel, heavy port. This is still like a great pairing for smoking a cigar, guys. Awesome. But we're gotta finish with a little hazy. Gotta finish, tap that off. Love this can. Love that green creature there. This is the Tropical Thoughts, right, from Old Irving Brewing Company. Don't understand the robot there, but Prodigy saying he might sprinkle the TKO plus 1200. Yeah, man, you put the $5, $10 on it. I bet like Smith on based on the number, right? Right, Prodigy. I do make bets, guys, based on the number. If the line is skewed and you have a heavy underdog, almost like Nate Diaz, does Nate Diaz really have a chance, guys? Do you want to send the $20 to me, to the Prodigy, or to one of your favorite internet capper? Do you want to buy something else? You want to buy two nice cigars, or do you want to put it on Nate Diaz? And I would say the same thing with Gonzalez against McKinney. Like, and McKinney is another one of those guys. Like, how does he do outside of round 1? Like, round 2, what happens to McKinney round 2? What happened, like, round 3? We haven't seen it there, right? So we have a couple of those fighters where that is the case, but I'm not going to put these max bets or even a unit bet, my unit bet now, because I've been doing unit bets. I up my betting amounts and increments. Oh, okay. So that was a mistake. I love the chestnut and the oils. It could sit a little bit better. For a Honduran cigar, this is actually a good cigar. Like, I wish it was. I think I thought it was a Connecticut shade. I thought it was a little more subtle, and it would have paired better with a darker beer. That's why I chose this today. But I had other cigars, and I just messed it up. See, that's why, like, if the wrapper doesn't come off, I mean, the bands don't come off quickly, don't take them off, because you'll fuck up the cigar like that, right? I fucked up the cigar, right? I damaged the wrapper, right? So that's not good. So I'm going to let it be. I'm going to smoke it through a little bit, and then hopefully the heat heats it up, and then the glue that's on the band hopefully just makes it easier to get off. But not good. Not good, guys. Sorry about that. Tightly rolled. Love the oil at the end here. Liking that oil is chestnut. Not as much sweetness. The spiciness is almost gone. Lots more oil on the palate, which I don't mind. And by oil, I mean literally that. Like, if you taste some olive oil, like go into your kitchen, put a dab of olive oil on your finger and just taste it, right? Put or you know, whatever oil that you might have. Where the oil is starting to be more pronounced, and I like it. You know, it's like really good. Now, McKinney, man, he shouldn't be priced like that. McKinney shouldn't be priced the way he is. That's why, guys, I think this is not the card to bet on, right? Like, everybody wants to make cards. Everybody's like, these cappers, everybody wants to put money. Like, there are days that we should just pass. I mean, I should pass. I got to pass for a few reasons. Like, I only lost $60 out of all these bets. All these. Like, again, these are primarily all Kim, right? I had $160 on Kim. And I still only lost $60, right? And that's including the flyers on Pena, the flyer on Lewis, and the flyer on, and that's because I bet Nikolai Nigarenu, and I went with him, like, not max bet, but pretty large. I should have went higher, and I was just scared, man, when I saw that fucking dude at the weigh-ins, and Nikolai was like, you know, he had the dad bod like I got, and he was so much smaller. I'm like, I'm not putting any more money in that. You know what I mean? I got a little frightened, and I know everybody's doing their reviews right now, even now as we speak. You guys, if you guys don't mind going Blood Money Bets and Johnny K Picks are doing their thing live. Go into their chat, open up another window, give them a like, please. Hit my like up as well, but you know, those guys know what they're doing. And I regret, like, doing my show concurrently right now with them, but they know what they're doing, right? And they're going to present some information to you. But I'm going to say stay away from this bout. Let's wait until we see some better numbers. We're able to make some better money, whether on dogs or even favorites. I think all the best favorites on this card are way overpriced. I'm avoiding it. You know, I need a new computer, guys. I'm been eating it a while, but I'm doing other things. I'm paying bills off, buying expensive cigars, buying expensive beers, and enjoying life has been the priority as always, guys. Like, I'm enjoying life, and the technology, being live with you is fun, but the computer hasn't been the priority, but it's going to be a priority soon because I waited like 40 minutes to try to get this stream going up properly. Yeah, Luque sub is always live. Prodigy saying he laid 3 units on Luque. He's regretting it now. Well, let's see what happens. I don't think so. I think Luque is not a lock. But Jeff Neal is going to give Luque the fight he wants. Luque's tough to finish, right? And Luque has the jiu-jitsu upside. Like, if he does get it down to the ground, and Neal's tough to get down. I don't think Neal's going to be able to counter, but let's be real. Luque's and we see that on this card. Luque's a kickboxer, guys. Doesn't have great wrestling, has good jiu-jitsu, very good jiu-jitsu, but he is a jiu-jitsu black belt, but he's not like that Mooney's. Even look at what Mooney's against Hall, he couldn't sub Hall. Like, even the best jiu-jitsu practitioners against somebody that has good jiu-jitsu defense, maybe not the best wrestling defense, but good jiu-jitsu defense, isn't going to make any mistakes. Because the jiu-jitsu guys, you have to realize, like, jiu-jitsu guys depend on you making the wrong moves, right? Like, you doing something wrong that allows them to get in a position or a certain thing. Like, a lot of the jiu-jitsu I've been watching, again, Michael Mushemi, I forget his name, and his bouts, and you see a lot of leg lock play, right? You see a lot of play, and they're waiting for the one person to make a mistake where they could get a favorable position. Like Mooney's he wanted a favorable, not just position, but he wanted a certain submission that he was looking for when he could have tried other things. A lot of these guys get locked into doing what they do best, or doing what they think is best at the time. You know, if I were in Mooney's corner, I would have told him, get the hooks in, you know, go, don't worry about the arm sub, don't isolate the arm, go for the choke. right? Like the choke is there. Why don't you go for the choke? And he didn't do that. He was always looking for that arm submission, because that's his best move. That's his best, most solid move. And these jiu-jitsu guys have their best solid things, but the better jiu-jitsu guys, like this Michael Museki guy, Mucheki, or I forget his name, Italian guy, young kid, he's waiting for you to make a mistake. You do something wrong, you know, I saw him against Gio, I forget Gio's name, from 10th Planet. He was waiting for Gio to make the wrong move you know, make the wrong move where he could be in a more favorable position, but he's not going to lose position in order to chase that sub. Where I think Muniz could have, he could have risked it. He didn't risk it. He still won, and I get it. He won, right? You look at the other guy against Petrosian. You know, Petrosian. I was betting on Petrosian. Same thing. Nothing happened when the Brazilian was on his back. Had his back, he couldn't submit him, but he just stayed in control, and that's smart to do. Like the jiu-jitsu guys that do that, at least don't. If you're not seeking the sub, keep the position, right? And I agree with that. Like they got to win the fight. So again, it's in this particular card. I don't think this is a good betting card. I don't like any of the dogs. The earthiness and leatheriness is still there. The oils are still there, not heavy oil. Again, I'm going to stick with my 6.5 or 6. And actually, I'm going to downgrade this to a 6. I'm going to downgrade it. I said 6.5. I think it's a quality cigar, but the flavors aren't there. Like, it's not... I'm going to give the beer, for what it is, an 8. Like, it's... I wouldn't call it a beer. You know, it's like a port. You know, and I want to be able to drink it. It doesn't have like that drinkability to me, right? Like I need to be able to like guzzle it. I need to be able to drink it. This is like a port. You cannot guzzle it. So I'm really the flavors are all there, and I think that all the aging, you don't taste any of the rum, you don't taste any of the whiskey barrel or the cherry barrel wine barrel. It's all port, and you don't taste any of the stout. It doesn't have the creaminess to it. It doesn't have that milkiness to it. It's all port, and I think the port dominates it. So, but I like it. For a cigar, this is a great wine. I mean, a great wine. I call it a wine. It's got legs to it, too. Look at that. And by legs, I mean, like, when you do this, and you see the viscosity on the glass over there, guys? It's got a little viscosity, but not a ton. But enough. I'm gonna have to downgrade the beer a little bit, because I don't feel like it's a beer. Like I don't treat it as a stout. It's strong as fucking hell. It's giving me a massive buzz, and a great flavors. Lots of licorice, caramel, and port. And the pairing is good. And I think this I should have smoked the Padron Maduro with it, which I wanted to do, but I was like, oh, I'll save that Padron Maduro for another sort of sip and smoke thing. I'll sit on it a little bit, but this Aurora cigar is it's not fantastic. I said 6.5. I'm gonna give it a 6. It is still, me giving it a 6 is still a high rating, guys. It's not bad flavors. Just nothing is sticking out with me on this particular cigar. Nothing that really presents it and makes it into the upper echelon. And I think for $7, there are better cigars, and I have better cigars. I think you could get the La Gloria Cubana, which is about the same price. You could get it. You could get plenty of other cigars that I think have more complexity and better flavors for the same price. Would I buy this again? Probably not. I probably won't buy this again. Right? It's not something I'm going to collect or sit on. But it's not horrible. But I think for some of the cigars that we've already had, like I had a different Honduran Connecticut Shade cigar that had just the same sort of textures with better oils, with more of a full body, a better draw, better flavors overall. Again, I can't just, everything can't just be great. You know what I mean? Like it can't be great, and it isn't. It isn't bad, but it ain't great. Hmm. Illinois Bigfoot puts out a good question. Who should be the next coaches for Tough? That's a very good question. And you know who I think should be? I think like the Moreno's. I think they should give it to Moreno and maybe Figueredo. Put those guys in there. I think Moreno is a good character. He's funny. He's a good guy. Or here's my flyer of who it should be. I think if Khamzat beats Nate Diaz, right? If Khamzat beats Diaz, which he probably will, and if this guy beats Edwards, if Usman beats Edwards, it should be Khamzat and Usman. I think that would be a good thing to watch. I think Khamzat has that personality. It'll be a coming out for him. Usman needs it. Usman needs like that push, and he probably thinks he's above it. But Usman Usman and Khamzat would be my choice. Who do you guys think? What do you guys think about Usman and Khamzat? Yeah, Khabib and Tony, come on. I mean, Tony's done, dude. He's done. Jiri Glover. I mean, Jiri Glover's not a bad idea. I mean, I think that's not bad either. Why not do all four of them? Why not Jiri and Glover? Why not this? Jiri and Glover, like 2 coaches, 4 coaches, right? I think that the Masvidal train is over, and Kobe's doing the right thing. And I asked this to MMA Lock of the Night. Like Kobe's doing the right thing, just hanging out. He's flying. I miss Kobe. I miss the Kobe show. Like Kobe's exciting, man. He's the boy. He brings something new. He's trying to be a personality, and he's got the skills. Like I love watching Kobe. I love Kobe, but he's doing the right thing right now. Bigfoot, the Pieta is not a personality. One thing I've seen, even though he's got the tattoos and everything, Alex Pieta is a mellow. Izzy needs it or could use it, but Pieta is more of a laid back guy. He's like, even though he's got the tattoos and he's that dude that looks like he's going to kill you and he can kill you, he's not into the camera. He doesn't give a shit about that stuff. Izzy does, and I think it would be boring. It'd be as boring as this season was. And I didn't even watch the whole season. My choice would be Usman and Khamzat. I think that would be really cool. I think they'd benefit from it. I think both guys would benefit from it. I think the UFC would benefit from it. Make it like the Russia versus America, like wrestlers versus wrestlers. Almost like the same thing that you guys are saying with Tony and Khabib, but we have like 2 guys that actually like, are actually real contenders. Because Khabib isn't going to fight Tony, or he would, but he would destroy Tony. Tony would get destroyed. Aljo won't sell, no, Alan. I love, oh, no, Aljo. Yeah. Oh, no, Aldo. I won't sell. Joe would. Someone saying that primetime Kobe would beat Khabib. I don't think so, man. Khabib is just too... That wrestling, bro, his wrestling is... His MMA wrestling and his MMA ground and pound is levels. Vitor would be good, you know. But he's got to beat Whitaker, right? Like beating Whitaker is going to be a hard problem for him. But he's a good dog. I think right now, like Vittori is sitting at. Where's Vittori sitting at? He's a good dog, actually. Like. And I'm more looking at the future right now, guys. I'm looking at Dominic Cruz still at plus 150 against Chito Vera. I think I'm going to jump on Dominic. I love the footwork still. He's still got quality wins. And Marvin Vettori at plus 185. It's going to be a kickboxing match, even though this guy's wrestling has greatly improved. Again, the Australians went to look for their wrestling. This is a testament to how good their willingness is to improve. Robert Whitaker's wrestling is well improved. And Marvin Vettori, he's got to be working on his wrestling, man. Somebody's got to, he's a decent, good wrestler. But somebody's got to be telling him, hey, man, we got to step it up again. I don't think, no, I like that idea of Marvin and Costa. I don't think the UFC is going to give Costa any push, right? Like, Costa is already not a company player. He's already fighting the UFC. I think it'd be good for the camera, and I'd agree with you. It'd be very entertaining. But you have to look at what the UFC, what's in the interest of the UFC, and the UFC is not interested in pushing Costa, who's already complaining, already has issues, Patty. Yeah, Jojo Patty. But who would Patty be against? Who would Patty be against? Like, man, if they could do Patty versus Connor, that would sell. Like, they don't want to do that. And Connor doesn't want to do that. Nobody wants to do that, but... Yeah. This band is actually really, really tight as well, guys. I don't like that. We're near the band, and I can't take the band off yet. Yeah, heavy glue on the band. Don't like that. Luckily, I got my X-Acto here. I'm going to have to be very careful. Yeah, luckily I got the X-Acto there, so I was able to peel it off a little bit. And bam, there's that. Fuck. This is not good, guys. Like, I got the band there. Man, the glue was heavy on this. Not good. Not good, guys. I damaged the wrapper a little bit. I do full card picks, Prodigy. I do right now we're just chilling. This is like just a random talk, random me online. Ooh, like we're sipping and smoking, just chilling. Like other cappers, I want to distinguish myself from other cappers that, ooh. That's why I'm doing the sipping and smoking. You know, I just want to have a good time with you guys. It is about the picks at the same time, but I just want to chill. I want to do other stuff. I want to talk about cigars. I want to talk about beer. Talk about life. Patty versus Terrence McKinney next. Man, that'd be a good ass fight. Shawayne was saying that's a good ass fight, man. I hope that McKinney could win because that would be a good fight to watch. A good test for two guys. Shawayne's got a good pick right there, man. I like that. I like that idea. I don't know if the UFC would do it, but I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. That would be an extremely exciting fight, And I'm gonna get back to my older format at one point, and we're gonna complement it with a live. I was just chilling out today. I had my day off, so that's why we're doing this. But I don't want to do what everybody else is doing, and I haven't done it. If you look at my full card picks, my style was a lot different than other people's. So we're going to do things a little different. We're going to change it up. It's going to be there. There are other options I have. I mean, there are other things I like. I told you guys before, I love these Korean and Asian channels I watch, where guys do this funny stuff and really cool stuff. You know what I mean? I could do all that stuff too. I just don't want to do straight like A, B, and C. I don't want to talk about that right now, but because that's not what this is about. Like right now, it's about your time and my time. You guys interacting with me. We're live. I appreciate all you guys in here. We're sipping and smoking. We're enjoying a cigar, a lot of oil. I've switched to the Tropical Thoughts now from Old Irving Brewing Company because we needed this. This kicks your ass. This is like like I said, all port. And you guys may not know or drink port wines, but a port is like almost like a brandy, a wine brandy. It's very heavy, very pronounced. And it's not quite a beer, and I'm more of a beer drinker. So I like that we're getting back to the citrus. This double Indian IPA, the Tropical Thought. So there's going to be a lot more citrus. There's going to be a lot more grapefruit and lemon. And I know they're using a lot of lemon rind. A lot more grapefruit and lemon rind, yes. Let it hit your nose. Sniff your beer, sniff your cigars, taste it. Get an idea of what it is that you're dealing with. And I appreciate the Prodigy being in the chat for as long as he has, because that guy makes his own content. Please go and check his channel out. The kid knows what he's talking about. Gambling or not, the kid has paid his dues and is very good at analyzing MMA. And I still think of myself as a good MMA analyst. But right now we're just chilling. We're just chilling. We're talking about beer and wine and beer and this and life. And, I do product reviews. I got a new belt. I don't want to do that because Joey's not going to like the belt reviews. But, I think that like doing the same thing that everybody else does is, it's not fun, right? Like I don't want to be like everybody else. Why am I going to run down this card and present information to you when I honestly think, other than Myra Bruno Silva just dropped as we were discussing this. She dropped 3 points. More money's coming in on Myra Bruno Silva. She was at plus 150. Now she's at plus 102. She was at plus 105 when I started this stream. Like literally as I started this stream, like people put money on her, right? Like the only 2 fights that I like, Ariana Lipski and Priscilla Cochero. I hate Priscilla Cochero, but you know what? She's a live dog. Any fight that she's in is a contestable fight. It's a fight that she could win because a woman brings it. She's tough to finish. She's zombie girl, right? Joey's saying no product reviews. And I know you guys are MMA purists and you guys come here for the MMA. And I get that. But everybody says a lot of the same shit, right? So whether product reviews, that's why I added the cigars and the beer, is this is an adult channel, right? I like the fact that I could incorporate other things that I enjoy, right, into what my content. And other guys don't, they ain't having this. Other guys, they don't even know about this kind of shit. And maybe you don't want that stuff. You just want the MMA stuff. I get it. But I want this stuff. I want, this is, I'm going to, when I go live and I do my content, I'm going to do me. And do it the way I like it. And that's cool. And if you don't think it's cool, hey, like Johnny K. Picks and Blood Money are great MMA cappers. They're on right now. I hate to compete against them. Go over there. Get your picks over there. We're talking over here. Like it's a completely different thing. And again, I should have been on earlier and I would have been done with the cigar. But that's my thing. Is like, I want to set myself aside because the market is saturated. Like everybody does MMA picks. Everybody does it. Everybody does it. Oh, Illinois. Yo, Illinois Bigfoot. Let me help you out, brother. Do not say the Steel Reserve is your paradise. Brother. Young man. Illinois Bigfoot, please. Stop with the fucking that cheap shit. Stop, dude. Not the Steel Reserve. This has that Steel Reserve characteristics. It'll fuck you up. But come on, bro. Step your game up. Like, come on, man. Come on, Bigfoot. You're done with that stuff. Don't be putting crazy bad shit in your body. Like, we only put good stuff in our body. Even though I look like a dad and I'm a fat motherfucker, I ain't putting that shit in my body no more. You know what I mean? Don't put that stuff in your body, bro. That there's nothing positive or good that's going to come out of the Steel Reserve. How would it look like I do a review on Steel Reserve? Like, what is the benefit of Steel Reserve? What are the flavors? Oh, none. It just fucks you up. Like, this shit fucked me up and had flavor. Like this is like a Steel Reserve, but it has a complexity. It has a diversity to it, and it's quality shit, man. Ain't gonna hurt your body. Tomorrow I'll be fine. I gotta work a double tomorrow. I'll be up at like 3 a.m. I'll be at work and I might have a slight hangover, but I'm not gonna have the Steel Reserve hangover. I'll tell you that much. I know Steel Reserve. I was not above Steel Reserve, believe me. Hell yeah, I got a paint-like taste. That Steel Reserve is like drinking formaldehyde. It's like drinking like a chemical. Bigfoot, you could afford, you're working. Don't buy that cheap shit anymore, right? You're young. In fact, you shouldn't be drinking as much, especially that shit. You're young. Focus on like enhancing your education, enhancing your business opportunities. And don't be drinking that crap, man. There's no need. Like even broke guys, even if I were broke, which I've been and I have been all this time, I'll still drink the good shit. I'll still smoke the good shit. There's no need to do you guys want to do a Miller High Life review, a Bud Light review? Do you guys actually care about that shit? I mean, nobody wants to hear that, and I don't want to hear. I just want you guys to understand that taste matters. Distinction matters. Right? Our opinion in what all you guys, especially in my chat, all your opinions matter. Because all you guys know your shit and you guys bet the shit. Everybody in my chat that I've seen so far today, they all bet. They all gamble. Which is a lot. Hey, Bigfoot, no, I can't do that no more, brother. I'm drug-free. No more drugs, man. Hey, slow your roll, brother, man. You're a young kid. Don't get into that shit, man. Don't get into that shit, man. It's a downward spiral. We want to move upwards and onwards. We want to get on the better side of life. And as young as you are, when you start that path, you might not be able to go back. And I've been there, right, Bigfoot? I've been there, and I've come back. And I'm not saying I'm far away from it, but mentally and spiritually, I'm far away from it. Like, I don't want to deal with those people. I don't want to deal with the coked up, drugged up, drunked up fool. Even though I get drunk. Yeah, I get drunk. You guys see me drunk on this channel, right? But I'm not coked up. I'm not fucking, doing those things. And then when you meet me when I'm not drunk or high, it's a completely different person, and I don't even consider that. We want to give the best of ourselves to our coworkers, to our families, to our lovers. We want to provide the best for them and give the best of what those are. When you're all coked up and drunked up, we're not doing any of that shit. We're not giving the best of ourselves. We're like at the opposite end of that. We're giving the worst of ourselves, right? There's no point in it, bro. I don't know what your situation is, Bigfoot, but I wouldn't do it, man. You don't have to. You're a young kid. Look at your sister. Look at your mom and think of them as high and fucked up. Ooh, lots of grapefruit and lemon. Lots of lemon, guys. I don't like it. It was too much of a... Here we go with contrast. Like, switching back from that heaviness port to this beer, it just doesn't work as well. Although I love the citrus character of this, it's too much of a contrast. So that's what we're talking about. And then you're going to be able to make these, man, lots of grapefruit. Lots of grapefruit. Yeah, Jojo wants the good stuff. But that stuff doesn't complement anything really well. Right? Like, it doesn't, make anything really better. It could only make things worse. And that's just my opinion. I'm not on it. Been there, done that. And like a doctor, just do as I say, not as I do. I'm telling you guys, there is no a positive end all for all that stuff, and we're leading down. We're talking about a rabbit hole now, and yes, when you get even as much alcohol as I drink, we're going down the rabbit hole, right? It's only down. Like, that's why I like discussing the positive things and having quality beer, quality cigars, where there's an upside, right? Like, there's an upside to it. Whereas I think that even when you're chasing a high, there isn't an upside. There is no upside to chasing a high. Just like right now, I'm chasing money, chasing the gambling money because I'm on a slight gambling downcline. I'm not saying downcline. I haven't been making the money that I was making before. But I'll tell you what, if I continue to just break even and lose and make $60, $100 here and there, I'll quit this game. I've quit before, right? I'll quit this game. There's no point of me gambling if I'm not making money. Like right now, we're at that cusp. I'm at that trigger point, that point where I'm going to be like, the juice isn't worth the squeeze, right? Alejandro Marquez wants to talk about hottest female MMA fighters. Tracy Cortez is one of somebody's. Yeah, I like that discussion, but when I look at fighters, I'm not looking for hot bitches. I'm not looking for hot people. On the other side, who's the hottest male MMA fighter? Joey knows I like Modafari. Guys, I'm telling you, the this one kicked my ass. There's a lot of alcohol content in there. I get a load of this guy. What do you mean, a load of this guy, Shawan? Shawan Johnson, I like your come on, Shawan. And Mateo Negro's in the house. I like your pick there of Patty versus Terrence McKinney. You know? I think me and Shawane, I'm going to teach you how to smoke cigars, Shawane. You're going to learn some good cigars, all right? Like, Shawane wants to learn the cigars. I'm going to teach him about the cigars. We're going to have some good cigars together, Shawane. I'm going to have Shawane in the house next time soon. You guys are going to come, and he's going to give his opinions. He's going to give his fight analysis, and we're going to discuss some cigars. Alejandro Marquez saying, you better read a few of my comments, Mr. Big Time. Alejandro, what hottest few? I read your comments, bro. Don't worry about, who is it? Yeah, we read your comments, man. Man, Brian be a hater. Brian be hating. Although Brian, you know, one thing I'll give Brian, man, dude, Brian from day one been shooting crazy shit, and it sometimes it happens. And Brian got me one day. Brian got me, who was it? That he said, like, oh, somebody by sub, and my stupid ass bet like $60 on somebody that never got a sub, and I listened to Brian. And then after that, I never listened to Brian ever again. But he got me. He was like, Brian got me that one time, man. That motherfucker. What was that? Who was Felipe? Felipe. Oh my God, that son of a bitch. Yeah, Felipe. I bet that much, and I bet it. I said, like, hey, who do you think? I texted him, and he's like, oh, I had Ortega by sub. If you're gonna bet Ortega, you got to get the sub. You know, I mean, you didn't fool me on that one, but Felipe got me. I bet Felipe by sub. It was Felipe by sub. Oh my God. Like, most, you did call Jury by sub. And the Francis Wrestling, yep. Brian's active in the chat now because he had that. He called that. You called Francis by sub. And I was like, nobody said that. And I gave you respect, Brian. Nobody expected fucking Francis to wrestle. And you called Francis by sub, but he won by wrestling. You are correct. You know, but you know, it's hard to tell if you're serious or not. Whatever, man. All right, so I'm downgrading this cigar right now to a 5.5. And it's because it's at the end of the cigar where I prefer the cigar to be. And the draw is still very hard. Not a heavy oils to it. And it's more spicy now. The spice that we saw at the beginning, that was there at the beginning, and now it's very spicy. Alejandro Marquez, if your wife's emasculating you, I would say to listen to Kevin Samuels, who's dead now, African American guy who talks about, like, he does reviews on African American women. And I listened to the guy. Man, lots of lemon and grapefruit on this, guys. There's no reason you should. I mean, like, there's no reason a woman should emasculate you, right? Like, you shouldn't be emasculated. Like, there's no reason a man um, should be emasculated, right? Like by anybody that's physically superior to you, anybody that's mentally superior to you. You shouldn't feel that negativity towards anybody. If anything, it should help you, right? Like, I don't feel like I once felt emasculated to an extent, and it was because I was playing the motherly role or the uh, maternal um, role in my relationship, and I was self-emasculated because I was playing the maternal role. Like, I believe it here. Here's the thing for you, Alejandro. There's a difference between being a child provider or a provider of money and being a giver, a child giver of love and giver of education, and being that male role model are two different things, right? And you can do both, but you have to. There's a difference between being a giver and a provider. If you're just a provider, which most men are in their relationships, right? You want to be a giver, right? You want to be able to give your child the best of what is you, both mentally and physically. You want to be able to give them those things. Being a provider, just because you're giving money to a kid doesn't make you a father. You're saying, oh, like I don't want to put it all out there, but being a provider is not being a giver. It's not being a father figure. You're not being a father. Just because you could afford that shit. Yeah, I'm right to give this cigar a 5. Notice I'm gonna have to relight it. That's because of the quality of roll and the flavors aren't there. Right? At this point, I should be like, normally you guys see me when I'm at this level of the cigar, and I'm like, man, I'm all over it. I mentioned more things about it. Alejandro, don't worry about that shit, bro. Keep providing. Keep providing. I'm not saying don't hold out on her. Because it's in the best interest of your kid to give that money. But if she's not giving you something in return, if she's not giving that fatherly respect, then you got to reassess what you're doing. You got to be more serious about one or the other, right? Yeah, this exactly. No, the cigar is washed exactly, bro. So it got downgraded 5. I'm not going to downgrade it more than that because it was still quality, but we want to get the cigar all the way down. We want to be able to like not have to relight it, not have to fight it. The draw's hard. Like, it just isn't there, So, it's on the top rope. No, Alejandro, man. Alejandro, I mean, I hate to say it, bro, and I cut my shit off. You ain't giving me contact. You ain't giving me the fatherly respect that I'm due. I ain't giving you shit no more. I mean, I got coming at me at the court. I ain't fucking with it. Like, there's plenty of other women out there, man. Kevin Samuels taught that shit to me. Like, you guys are all, everybody in my chat is hardworking person, right? Like you don't realize that, like, even though you might just be making like 50 grand, 40 grand a year, guess what? You're like at the upper echelon of most men. Most of us are not rich. Most of us are not millionaires. It's the content of your character that is more valuable, right? And if you're not allowed to exhibit that and present that to your child, and your baby's mama is not allowing you to be in that role or be assuming a male role, exact. Noah Allen had a good ass thought right there. Good ass point there, Noah Allen. There are a lot more beautiful women than there are decent men, right? Yeah, Alejandro, man, dude, you're a catch. You're a catch. You're a catch, and these women don't realize that. Don't worry about the pussy, guys. Pussy. I mean, now I'm older. I don't, I still could get some. I'm a loyal boyfriend. I like being loyal to my woman. We had this discussion yesterday. But there's got to be something in return, right? There's got to be something in return. There's got to be a level of respect between us, for me to like, okay, so you ain't giving me as much sex as I want, but you're giving me respect and you're giving me these other things. We still enjoy each other, right? And this is being honest. But the sex got to come too. You know what I mean? Like there's got to be something there to make it worthwhile for both of us, right? And I'm not just going to give money for nothing. How to stay loyal, Rob? I mean, it's been a challenge for me, Shawan, because I mean, I used to be a player. I could play. I could play. I could play. I could play. I know I'm a catch. I don't even worry about the women. Yeah, you make $60 a year. Dude, look at this guy. Yeah, she doesn't give me a computer, she's gone. Yeah, not really. She like, we're gonna present it to her. We work together. Me and my girl work together. She knows I like this stuff and it's for this. But do I know how to spice things up in bed for him? No, man, you just do your thing, bro. You got to have a willing participant. You got to have somebody that's wanting to be with you. Like what it is, like that's what pisses me off, Alejandro. You make a good point. Like I don't, and I get it. A little bit is the drinking that turns my girl off, right? No, Shawayne saying a position, the best thing you guys can do with ladies is, it's give and take, but it's all context. It's all environment. Take her to a trip. Take her to that good dinner and be like, yo, we're, like this is for both of us. It's not like you're paying for something. Make sure that it is a mutual thing. And I think a lot of times that with most women, there are other players out there. There are other guys that are willing to fucking just give, and you continue to give, then what's going to happen? McDonald's might be good for some people. Yeah, I mean, but maybe you're with the freak. Maybe that isn't the right person for you, Alejandro. Like she's projecting things that you may not be into. I've been with those women before that were like asking me to do these things, and I'm not into that stuff. You know what I mean? And I would tell her straight up, like, yo, baby, I don't want to do any of that. I'm into this. This is what I prefer. Let her know what you like, because you're not willing to present what you want. You're allowing her to dominate that relationship, and therefore you are emasculated to an extent. But therefore that you're not really into making both of you happy, right? Oh, I've had women be the dominatrix of me. I don't worry about that stuff, man. You shouldn't be dominated if you don't want to be dominated. No, don't chase him out. I like this discussion. No, come on, Joey. No, man, we're not doing that, man. We're not doing that shit here. No, come on, guys. Come on, fools. Maybe your hammer ain't enough. You're going to be in the same position, and I'm certain all of you are probably in a similar situation that Alejandro is. Right? All right, they want to go off the relationships. If you think your dick is that good, you are wrong. Because you know what, guys? Women prefer the dildos. Your dildo cannot do, your dick cannot do anything a dildo can't. And the dildos nowadays are more complex, they're better than your dick. Right? Right? They're far better. You can't, you could go down and suck a woman's pussy, it don't matter. Like, the relationship matters. Her connection to you matters. You got to make her feel that the connection between you two is important. And she's going to get all juicy, She's going to get all juicy. You just want to hit it right away, and you don't want to fucking take steps. You don't want to put in candles. You don't want to have a shower, like a bath together. You don't want to give a massage, before something happens. Then you're going to have some problems. Guys, it's not that hard. It's not that hard, right? Then the main thing you don't want to be is a two-pump chump. But you want to be able to fucking, satisfy a woman. And if she wants that smack, give her the little smack. She wants to be called daddy, okay, that's what you like, okay. But at the end of it, let her know it could have been better for me if we could have been this way, right? Like, I like it this way. I'll be honest with you guys, I like my woman on top. She don't like it, but she got to do it, and that's just the way it is, you say, hey, it's time for you to get up on top. Oh, come on, man. Bedroom cardio, man. We're sipping and smoking into a black hole that I don't necessarily want to get into, guys. Alejandro, my advice to you, brother, is that there's no reason you should be emasculated, right? There's no reason that yeah, but I like everybody has their preferences, everybody has their differences, but there's no reason that that you should be emasculated. Like, if you provide for your children, you present yourself as a man to these ladies, and there are other women there. That's why men are going to Thailand. They're going to the Philippines to get women, right? The women are always there. They will always be there. Brian saying all that don't mean none if you ain't whacking right. Well, you guys think you guys are a little overrated. You guys think that I'm telling you, women don't need you. Women are not there for the sex. You guys got it wrong. They want the other things. They want the cultural lifestyle. They want the attention. They want the affection. They want all the other things that is not about the penis. So you guys are talking about the hammer and the penis. They already got, I'm telling you, they got machines that do it better than you could do it. So you guys have to search and find out what your partner wants from you, what emotionally they want with you, right? What it is that they enjoy about you, or else they could go somebody else. Shawayne's over there, Brian's over there, right? And they're gonna give her that emotional connection, right? Like, you guys are like just talking about sex, and you guys are missing the point, or missing the aim of what a relationship is and what sex is. The sex isn't about your dick. It isn't about your dick. I mean, I don't care if you have a 10-inch, 12-inch cock. You could have a little Japanese cock, and if you know what you're doing, and if you have things that make her happy, you're going to satisfy her. And it's not about that. You guys are missing it. And you guys are delusional. You guys are delusional if you think your penis is that good. Just like women that say, oh, my pussy, my juice is that good. I got the juju juice. This pussy's worth fucking waiting 3 years and marrying me. You are wrong. You are completely wrong. You know? You're wrong. They could get it from a machine. They get it from somebody else. And why do they? Why do women cheat? Why do men cheat? You cheat because your woman isn't treating you correctly. She's not doing the right things for you. Right? And same for the men. Or the women. Why do they cheat? They cheat because unhinged. I'm not unhinged. I like this discussion. Because one of my mentors is Kevin Samuels. Look up Kevin Samuels. Rest in peace. You know, he tells you, like, why do I listen to Kevin Samuels? He does a women's channel. So he's trying to tell women how they fucked up. You know, he's not trying to teach men how they're insufficient, right? Like, because that's easy. Because your woman's going to tell you that. Shawayne, Brian, you know, your woman's going to tell you how you're insufficient, no matter what kind of hammer you got, right? Because there are machines that could do it, and another woman maybe could do it, right? That's not the point. The point is fulfill. How do you fulfill somebody else's life, whether man or female? Like, if I'm your friend, how do I fulfill your life? How do I complement your life? How do I add to your being on a daily or non-daily basis? You know, you know, that's more important, guys. Like, that's the point you guys are missing. You guys want to be the dominant guy, and that's okay. But if you want to be in a relationship, it's a two-way street. You gotta work together. That's why I'm not dumping my girl. You know, the girl hasn't given me sex in the whole month. But my girl still laughs at my jokes. We chill out, sing music together. We still dance together. Right? We still enjoy our company together. We bowl together. You know? And oh yeah, Shawayne, you ain't got time for that shit? All right, man. Dude, there are hookers that are better than your girlfriend then. That's my point. Get a hooker. Get a hooker. Shawayne's saying she's cheating. I might think that. I might think that she is. I get the inclination sometimes that she might be cheating on me. I doubt it, but I get that. You know, you're not off. But I don't think of it the way you guys do. I view it more as like, what is it that we're not doing together that enhances our relationship? Like, it's got to be mutual. There has to be mutual enhancement, just like friends, just like being your boy. Like, why is your friend your boy your boy? Why is your boy, right? If you're friends forever, you're friends forever. If somebody's got your back, they got your back. You know? Like, you got to think about that shit. There are things that women want that they're not going to talk about. And the dick ain't one of it. They want the other aspects of it. They want the security. They want the attention. They want the respect. They want those other things, and you could do that very easily. Somebody else making it feel good physically. All right. You know, I had this discussion with my girl yesterday, and she knows, and like, I still gotta respect my girl, man. I'm gonna still be true to my girl. You know, like, she's been with me when I was literally had nothing, or I had a little something something. You know, I mean, why is she still here? I'm still giving her something. Right? Like, there's still this level of sustenance that she's gaining from me, right? But good question. I don't think my girl's cheating on me. Yeah, see, I'm going to give this a 5. This cigar is a 5, guys. 5, like, no oils, not a lot of flavor towards the end of the cigar, so it got downgraded, right? Good quality, but because it's all a Honduran cigar, it just isn't going to get it. But back to the ladies thing, because you guys want to hear this shit. Man, hey, I've been with a lot of women. And I don't have problems meeting women. I have a problem meeting good, cool women, especially at my age. I have a problem with that, because most women want things they can't achieve. Like, they got 3 kids, 5 kids, or they already, in their degree, and they got this and this and that, and they still are not necessarily. They're looking at somebody like you guys, or even me, as like wanting to be the provider, or somebody that's going to marry them. But why am I buying something that's old? It's already aged. I don't want. I could buy a cigar that's aged. That's better. You know what I mean? I don't need what they have. I don't need pussy. Guys. Like, you guys are still young, dumb, full of cum, but I don't need that shit. I need the same thing that women need. I need attention. I need respect. Right? I need the complementary nature of enjoying themselves in life. Right? I don't need any of that stuff. The sex isn't what is the primary to me. I love, I mentioned it before. What the fuck's up with this guy? I love the laughter I have with my girlfriend. Yesterday we had a little fight. Not a fight, but like, I was trying to tell her, like, yo, like, you haven't given me no sex in a little bit. Even though we're laughing and enjoying, and we were listening to country music and dancing, and I was being affectionate to her. And I let her know, like, yo, other women would die for this kind of shit, because other men don't give that, right? Other men don't have that, not just the vulnerability, but they don't have that style, right? They don't have that way about themselves that, because I can still get women. So, you don't have to buy what I'm selling. I'm not selling anything, Prodigy. I'm not being funny with it, man. I'm not like, I understand relationships and women, because I've been with a lot of women. All kinds of women. And I enjoy the company of women, but I actually like you guys more. I actually like you guys. Like, I love, why do we like men? And the affirmation that we get from our boys, our men, than we get from our women. And that's my point, is like, my girl still, despite what, like, not getting the sex lady, she still gives me that affirmation. She still gives me that respect, right? And the moment I doubt that respect, then we have a problem. Well, my girl, like, knows that I can lay down the hammer, and knows that if she wants it, she could get it. And if I demand it, which I don't like doing, I could do that. I could do that. I could demand something, but I don't want to demand. I don't have to. I'm not emasculated by not demanding. Like, If she don't want to give me some, she's not ready for it, that's okay. You know what I mean? My girl's gonna, like, I've had enough sex. It doesn't matter. That aspect of life doesn't matter as much. It's just not as important. I get my dick wet. I can go. You go on Madison, Pulaski, get yourself your dick wet right now. You know what I mean? You could go and get wherever go to the Philippines, go to Mexico, and indulge. That's not important though, and you're not going to be satisfied. You're not going to be satisfied. You're not going to be as satisfied as even my girl said no yesterday. My girl was here yesterday, and I was asking her for sex, and she said, "You're drunk. I don't want to fucking have sex with you." Being up front, you guys. I don't want to have sex right now because you're drunk. So we're not having any sex, even though I was asking for it. And I respected that. I didn't like harass her or bother her. You know what I mean? It's the same, with women, guys, you remember that you decide. You can decide. Not about sex, about being in relationships. Men determine in relationships. We determine. I'm a little buzzed. But we determine what it is. Prodigy Band. We determine what we want for ourselves. Right, guys? Right? So you have to remember that. And if you're going to emasculate yourself, that's okay. I mean, I don't think it's okay, but I'm not going to emasculate myself anymore. I don't have to. I would tell you guys, man, the women aren't the priority, right? You want sex? You can pay for sex. You could have sex from people. I'm not drunk completely yet. I'm pretty buzzed. But guys, don't be a simp. Don't be that guy, because you guys fuck it up for all of us. Your simp ass is making another man's job or another person, because you're banging somebody else's girlfriend. You're banging somebody else's wife. Right? And you're willing to deal with it because you're getting the good juice. Right? But in reality, you're not. You're a faker. You're still a phony. Exactly. Bigfoot said he was giving some woman when he just wanted to see her smile. Because he wanted to smile. He wanted to just enjoy himself. Right? You guys think that all right, man, you guys think that your dick is even women think the same way. Women think the same way. Women think that their pussy is unheard of. Like they got the juice. Like they think their shit is juicier and better pussy than anybody else got. And baby, I'm telling you what, I could get that shit down the street. You get the same. You could get it somewhere else. Just like they could get dick somewhere else, and they still come back to you because you're the good guy. You're the guy with the nice job that's still going to pay the bills for her. Give her that child support. Right? You're going to still be that responsible man and think that you're the man because you're providing. Right? You're providing to her. But that ain't it. That's just me, relationship wise. I'm happy somewhat. Would I like a little side action over here, little thing over here and there? Yeah, sure. Am I gonna jump at it, even if it's offered? Not really. Because chances are afterwards it's gonna be you're gonna be panicking, you'll be worried, and it ain't all that. That it's like doing drugs. Oh, Shawayne saying he's the guy with the hammer. Shit, Black Hammer over here. Black Hammer. Fuck fucking the Jamaican hammer over here. Hey, your dick ain't that good, baby. Your dick ain't that good. It don't matter how big it is. You think you're laying down that pipe, it ain't that good. She's still getting dick somewhere else too. She getting dick from the Mexican hammer, from the white guy. Don't matter. She's still getting it. You know, she just likes getting it and likes getting what you're giving her. I'm like, guys, the problem is that you guys you're not looking for a keeper. You're not looking for like, oh, I like this woman, man. She's a dope ass lady. You know, like I like my lady because my lady is a boss, a real boss, not this boss bitch bullshit. You know, like my lady's a real boss. Like she manages people. You know, like she's a boss. She manages me. She helps me. She bosses me in the right way, right? And that's all I'm saying, guys. We could leave it at that right now. I'm just saying, like, there's no need for anybody to be emasculated by a woman. None of these men, nobody in this channel should be emasculated by any woman. Right? Yeah, Shawan, you're a young man. You could be used. But someday you're going to wake up and you're going to be like, damn. You know, like just like a woman. Like an old beer or an old wine. Certain wine gets better with age. I'll tell you what. Even wine gets spoiled. You know, even wine after a while doesn't taste good like the cigar. It's supposed to get better after it's been smoked a little bit. The woman's pussy's like this cigar. It's been burnt up. It's at the end of it and it has no more flavor. Because it wasn't that good. The quality wasn't there. It wasn't top notch. That's why I got a 5. You know, it could have looked good. From the beginning, you saw the band, the wrapper, and it was all glossy and good. And it turned into this old shriveled up shit. And then your dick's the same way. And when I was younger, I didn't mind being used. You know what I mean? I'm a little older now. I don't have to worry about that. And most women know. They already know when they look at me. Like they already know what they're going to get. You know? But again, if you're not getting something back, not just the money, if you're not getting something back from, if you're not happy with what your partner is providing with you, and the partner is a big partner word, a big P word, not penis. That's the real P word. And I'm happy with my partner, right? Because she is down with me. You know, she's down with the shit. Right? And I could talk to her just like right now. Like I could talk to her and I'd be like, oh, I'm upset about this, or I want this, or whatever. She's going to make adjustments and, you know, like she's going to be there. Or and if you say certain things to a certain woman and she's like fighting you on it, like my girl didn't fight me on it. You know, she presented, I get it. She said, oh, you're drunk. We're not giving you sex. I don't want to have sex when you're drunk. I get it. Right? She didn't say like, oh, I hate you. I don't like you. I don't want to, you know. She didn't say any of that stuff. Like, so that's okay with me. Right? I'm not going to like fucking dump her because she didn't want to have sex with me. I get it. I don't want to have sex with a fucking drunk bitch either. I've been with drunk women. They're fucking drunk as hell and you're fucking, you know, I've been there. You know, like, sometimes it could be fun, sometimes it isn't. Like, that isn't what relationships are about. And that's not what women are about. Or good women are about. You know, you want to date hose bags, get the hose bags. Right? Get the hose bags then. Yeah. Well, this degraded into a bad female discussion, guys. But listen to Kevin Samuels. Watch that shit. The guy knows what he's talking about. Yeah, I gotta get on her. Yeah, I'm all good. I'm all good, man. She all good. She all good. You know what I mean? I'm a little older now. It doesn't, you know. like I said, like I ain't looking to get my dick wet all the time, or everywhere here and there. You know what I mean? There are other things that are important to me, and I know that you guys are, you're young, dumb, full of cum. Alejandro's asking if I've been a simp in my past life. Yes, I've been a simp. I was simping because I had my kid there, and I liked the role that I was playing. But really, I wasn't simping. I was, you know, nah, no, man. I don't simp anymore, man. I don't simp for people. Why? Why, man? You know, here, guys. Like, there's that discussion that Kevin Samuels will let you know what is a high value man, right? I don't have the monetary value that most men have, right, guys? I'm not rich. I don't have a great job. Um, I'm not secure, but I have good taste. I have distinction. I like good things. I like to enjoy myself. When women are in my company, they enjoy themselves, and I make sure they enjoy themselves. Just like my friends. Like, you guys, my friends. How is it when like Shawan and JoJo could mention this? When I'm around these guys, like I'm taking care of them. You know, I want to make sure they're enjoying themselves. It's simple. I want them to have a good time with everyone. And like, those are things that money can't pay for that stuff. Like, money can't pay for the things that I provide to people, the advice I apply to people, the character I present with people when I'm working with them, when I'm hanging with them. Like, they got somebody that's genuine, that is strong for them, that wants to make them and compliment them and make them better. And the guys that I hang out with, Brian could talk to this, and JoJo, and even Shemaine. I'm always trying to get the best out of you guys, right? Always trying to be more than an exemplary. I'm always trying to get the best from you, emotionally, physically, whatever. I'm always trying to have a good time with you guys too. You know what I mean? Women are the same way. Women are the same way. If you have a happy wife, happy life. Happy girlfriend, happy life. Happy friends, happy life. I'm jealous of all you guys. I'm jealous of you guys for you're young. You have opportunities in front of you. The ability to make your lives better. You have more time to do it right now. You have more time to do it. Just like my bets, about better. We're not just about better in the gambling. I said this before. We're about better in the life. Better in that life. Like, I'm living good, man. I'm sipping on fucking $20 beers, man. Sipping fucking $12 cigars. Come on, guys. How is my life bad? How is my life bad? How I got it good. I got nobody fucking with me, nobody on my back. My job at this point is just to try to make you guys better, try to make everybody better. That's my anxiety, is trying to be a better friend, trying to be a better uncle, trying to be a better man, try to just be a better man. Life is fucking really good. Life is fucking really good right now. Yeah, this cigar is out. So we're gonna end the stream. But yeah, man, guys. Shit, man. Life is good. Shit's good. Quality beer, quality cigars, quality fights, quality bets. That's what shit is about, man. You guys gotta end the simp thing. Like, it isn't like some, end all shit, man. Like, like you guys have all upside. Everybody in this chat has an upside, a huge upside. And my thing is, here's where I get to be me. Here's where I'm going to be me. What are you doing with your time? How are you managing your time and your talents? How are you managing your own abilities, your own talents? Not the women, not the kids. How are you managing your time to get better for yourself and your friends and your family? Like, I mean, I've been closed off and I don't have that luxury anymore of being part of it the way I want to with my family and my friends all the time. But I still try to exemplify that in my daily being, right? So when you come up with me and you're part of my circle, you know how I am. You know how I am. You see it, there's no smoke and mirrors, there's no faking. Like, that is what's important to me. Every day, that's all I care about. Like, if I'm just being true to myself and people are liking me, that's cool. I used to be the person that people didn't like. I used to not be liked. I used to be an asshole. It took me so long to get to the point where I'm not an asshole. Like, I'm adding to people, and if you don't think I'm adding to you, then that's fine. You don't have to be friends with me. You don't have to be associated with me. But I'm telling you guys, you do not have to harm yourselves, because that's what primarily you guys are doing. You guys are looking at what's wrong with you, and you're not seeing what's right with you. You're only seeing the things that are negative about you. You're only seeing barriers. You're only seeing the things that are wrong with you, and you're not seeing the things that are right about you. And that would be my last point about this whole stream. Stop seeing that negative. Don't let that negative become your norm. Don't let that negative become your norm. And I'll let you guys know, if you've made it this far, you are about better. So be about better, all right, guys?